Hey everyone, welcome back to another video of World Vision Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, where we have a look at what's new every reset. Today, there's two new additions that we should be worrying about. One is the addition of the new vision card and Esper, Dark Odin, and the collaboration limited Final Fantasy VI vision card named Omen, which is going to be pretty good for your fire element teams. We'll have a look at that and more in just a second. Without further ado, let's go into not the summons, we'll go into the presents, because we need to claim some new goodies, and one of them is the second vision card for the anniversary, which is the Anniversary Banquet Part 2. So once we claim it, we'll have a look at the stats for this card. And yes, if the Part 1 vision card was more tailored towards attack, well, this card is more tailored towards magic output, damage output, and also a little bit of extra HP for those four elements on screen. So now you got another card that you can add onto your sub vision card slot and get that extra oomph in a situation where you don't have Ramu or any other mage increasing vision card in your repertoire. Now we can go on to the summons and see what's new this week. The first thing that we are presented with is the brand new vision card, Phantasmic Renderer Dark Odin. And this card is actually quite interesting because, as far as I know, it is the first vision card to offer something for two elements at the same time. So this card, once it reaches level 99, it will get Ice Attack Unit Ice Unit attack up by 50%, Ice Unit max HP up by 13. You also get Ice Unit attack resistance up by 10 and Water Unit attack by 50. Moreover, you also get Water Unit attack max HP up by 13% and Water Unit attack resistance up by 10. So pretty much Water and Ice were getting the same stat from this vision card alone. And if we have a look further down, Ice units, which is a fair amount of them, will get a further man-eater up 10, max HP up by 5, unit attack resistance up by 10, ice attack up by 10 as well. That's a lot of stuff. Now, if you give this card two water units, yes, they'll get man-eater up 5 and max HP up 5. So there has been a global update, which is only for ice, unit attack resistance up and ice attack 10. So something to consider is, in global, this card is a bit more tailored towards ice, but it doesn't mean that it's not applicable or usable for water units by any means. Now, what I really like is the Esper. So for the Esper, I see that it's extremely versatile. You can have so many builds. So the first build that you see on screen is something that I would have tailored for a water attack, physical attackers such as Tidus or Astoria. You can make Tidus evasive as well, so in lieu of losing some slash attack, you can give him a bit more evasion. And yes, Tidus has proven to be a good evasive unit. He's got a fair amount of luck and dexterity, which also increases his agility and accuracy. So overall, a pretty good unit that does evasion quite well for the water element. Now, one thing I wanted to share was also a specific build for Venera, because the Esper seems to have a fair amount of luck and dexterity, which will further increase the evasion of units for anyone that has this card equipped. This Esper equipped. So for Venera, I wanted to focus not only on evasion, but on her ability to cast poison as well. And that Man-Eater 25 will also be quite vital in ensuring that not only she'll deal a lot of damage, but once poison is inflicted, perhaps the next turn for that unit that they die, in case there's some residual HP in a situation where Venera can't finish the job. Now, I also made a build that could be used by magic user in more in detail for the Lunar Year Moor, where she's a magic unit and she can also inflict poison. So in lieu of slash attack, you can increase her other stats in especially in poison dealing, because she does deal a fair amount of poison, and she seems to be spec'd around that mechanic over there. As I said, a very versatile Esper can be applied both to physical attackers and magical attackers. The stats of these Espers are quite good across the board, which is the reason why we don't have a standard 10k pool banner. For this guy, we have a Bahamut style banner, with the exception that maybe step 1 is 1000 vision instead of 2000. And however, we do have a pity for him, and while we're talking about him, I'll just go directly there. So if you go on Mock Shop and you manage to acquire 2000 medals, you will be able to get both the vision card and the Esper. It is quite a big investment because according to my calculation, that will be 36,000 vision. You do want to use that vision for something else, but this is actually quite a good opportunity to get this guy, which, you know, it's Esper that can be used pretty much by everyone with the amount of slash attack, human killer, and evasion. Pretty hard to pass on, but the important thing also to notice is that this guy is part of the standard pool, reduced rate, but nonetheless still part of the standard pool, so you'll be able to get him nonetheless with just a little bit extra luck. Let's go back onto the summons and talk about the rest of the content for this week. We do have a number of options for Omen, which is a card very tailored for fire magic, more in particular for Terra or Tina. So if you have a look at the stats for this card, once it reaches level 99, this card will bestow Fire Unit Man-Eater upon magic attack up by 25, Fire Unit Spirit up by 8, and Fire Unit Missile Attack Resistance up by 20. So I'm already thinking in my head a crazy setup with Dark Odin Esper, which already has 25 Man Killer. And then if you give this card to Terra, that's 50% Human Killer with Terra's Meltdown that has guaranteed chance of attacking. Pretty much Terra will become a force to be reckoned with, even against water, if you ask me. So something to strongly consider if you have a lot of vision and you're focusing on Final Fantasy VI units in particular. Moreover, Fire Unit will get Fire Attack up 10 and Max HP up by 5%, and Terra in particular will get Mag Attack 20% and Agility up 5%. So I'll talk about my plans around the end of the video in regards to what I want to do with all this content, so stick until then to see whether that will give you some extra insight on what you want to do, or perhaps if you can suggest a better way of tackling this, you let me know. I'm sure you let me know. Further down, we have the guaranteed acquisition banner for Vision card, which is only 2,000 paid viz. Glad to see this. I believe that most people will eventually take advantage of this card, especially if they already have Terra. They'll probably jump on it, and we have 27 days to make up our minds, so pretty happy about that. And further down we have the guarantee, well, the standard banner for the Vision card, which is where we can use that free ticket that we've been giving today. So hopefully you guys are lucky. Now this is actually what I'm happy to see. I'm happy that it was staggered as well. And here is the guaranteed banners for units and Esper, which is really good for new players. So the first banner is 2,000 paid, and you get 2 retries, so 3 chances in total to get the unit and Vision cards of your liking, obviously in a randomized manner. So yeah, you do get 30 pools for which you can only claim 1, so 10 a combination of units and Vision cards. And yeah, pretty standard by now. This is what we usually see around the 6 months anniversary and 1 year anniversary of the platform. So happy to see that. Further down, we have similar banner paid still, but only for units. And then we have the variant for Vision cards. So nothing out of the ordinary. Further down, we have the free visual variants of both Vision card and unit banner. And we have shard acquisition banners as well. And also worth mentioning that at the very bottom, you can get shards for Omen and Dark Odin's Vision cards. So Don't let those get under your nose. Okay, I believe it's a good time to go directly onto the far plane because there's a couple of things to talk about. And the first one is the addition of more selection quests for Earth. So if we go over here, you'll see that now we have selection 11 and subsequently 12 and 13, stages 11, 12, and 13. And upon beating the selection quest, you will get the materials to further build Muraga's best in slot armor, which is a helm. And this little puppy will give him more defense and more attack. Seems like the way that they intend Muraga to be is more kind of a high damage dealing tank, and I think that's pretty good. I mean, I don't think that he'll survive any wind damage by any means, but against every other element he'll have a higher chance of doing his job quite well, which is just going in there head first, not caring about damage too much, physical damage, and leveling the competition. I believe that this is a good piece of addition for him specifically. Under events, you'll see that everything in regards of experience and JP acquisition is being boosted. So if you're trying to finish up those recipes, this is a good chance of getting more experience and JP points for the units you're building. Furthermore, I think we have new books today, which is Staff Katana and Dagger, and Sword Greatsword Axe. So do consider doing those in regards of books. And in here we'll have 10 new pieces of story. You'll get 500 guaranteed visure upon completing the 10 stages, and then you'll have most likely more visure you can claim through the missions. Also worth mentioning before we go on to the next screen that there is double drops, double shards for vision card this week. So if you're trying to build Bahamut or any other card that you've been struggling to work on, this is a perfect opportunity to double up and half the time required to acquire those shards. Before we end the video, why don't we explore the 4 units that got their MA2 this week, which is Mediana, O, Baello, and Zan. First of all, let's look at Mediana. So Mediana, she got Ice unit allies max HP by 10%, Ice attack 15%, on match by 40%, magic attack resistance by 20, Cosmo Plume range and range height by +1. So I believe that from what I am seeing, Mediana is going to do her job a bit better, which is a nuker suicide bomber, but her bomb is going to have a higher range, so that will also mean that her chances of being targeted right after doing her Cosmo Plume will be lower. Match 40 means that she'll deal a bunch more damage, almost if not hitting cap by this time, especially with the fact that now we have double vision cards and TMR Truststone slots. So I do feel that in doing her job, which is a one-hitter quitter, she'll be much better at it, especially keeping account that now wind units have been a bit harder to deal with. I think one thing that might need to be looked at is her accuracy, because we want to make sure that Cosmo Plume hits. And from experience, in the past she hasn't been very successful at doing that. So that's something that I would definitely review, give her an Exandrite ring in lieu of maybe the Galmia coat or something along those lines. You guys will figure it out. Moving on, we have O that also got his MA2. So this time he gets lightning, allies max HP up by 10%, paralysis resistance by 25, on attack by 20%, evasion rate by 25, and defense piercing rate by 20. There's nothing that really rocks my socks here. Attack by 20% is nice, but we're still talking about an MR unit, so nothing that could be too impactful. Same thing goes for evasion rate by 25. MR units do have a tendency of having lower luck and dexterity in terms of hitting and evading. And defense piercing ring perhaps is one of the nicer things that I think is actually worth mentioning for him. I don't remember him having any skills that had defense penetration, or so this could be useful for him in a CM match or even in Selection Quest now. So a good candidate for anyone that needs to finish Selection Quest, and perhaps Selection Quest 11, 12, 13 as well. Moving on, Bael also gets his master ability. Lots of stuff there: agility 10%, luck 30%, defense 10, and spirit 10. So I feel that they didn't really know what to give him. I do find the agility 10% quite fun. If he has 40 agility, it just means that he'll get from 40 to 44, which, I mean, like, for him, I guess is still kind of an impact. Lost some pounds under the belly, under the belt. So yeah, I guess nothing too impactful, but still interesting. You know, still nice that he got something. And then Zazan also gets something that I think is even more impactful compared to O, in my opinion, which is dexterity 15%, move +1, jump +2, and man-eater +20. And the way I see this is move +1 can be seen as a negative thing because he already has a move of 5 from on top of my head. He can be given a move of 6 with TMR, and then now he can even get up to move 7. So that's really something that is gonna be hard to manage in class matches as well, where the limit is cost 220. So in this situation, I think that move +1 is actually really good because you can mitigate that with the producer's bow tie. So you can make Zazan into pretty much fodder. He'll probably be fast enough with dexterity 15% to reach your characters, give them the man-eater buff, and then try to charm the enemy as well, and at the same time being targeted too. Or you can go the opposite route. You can give him move 7, and then you can also ensure that his hate will be reduced as well. I think that's Kitone's TMR, if I'm not wrong. And he can just go around the whole map and charm everyone, and then your stronger unit will be able to finish the job. So I mean, like, you can go both extremes in this case, and I think that his move +1, but also more importantly the jump +2, will give players a lot of flexibility in regards of how to cover that extra 20 cost if you want to run limited team with 2 cost 100 units. Now, what are my plans for tackling this week's content in regards of the new releases? So first of all, I am definitely going to do the Guild Shard banners at the end, both for Omen and Dark Odin. So I do have enough visual to pull for both banners. Yes, 50 million a day can be a lot for someone, but this, I mean, in April, it'll be my my guild farming and conversion month for tokens. So I'll be getting at least 2 billion guild back. So I'm not too worried about spending 50 mil a day. Further to that, I think that I'll cherry pick a vision card that I've been looking at for a long time, given that I almost have everything. So I don't find much value in doing personally these 10 UR guaranteed banners, because I want one specific thing, and that is carbuncle. But how can I get carbuncle? And that is something that I forgot to mention in the previous section of the videos. But if we go on to the shop, especially onto the special shop, you'll see that we have 2 limited packs. One is a select UR unit pack, and one is a select UR VC pack. And in here, not only we get the chance to select the vision card we want to work on, but we also get all the shards necessary to max that vision card. And the vision card I personally want to work on is Carbuncle, because Carbuncle is also another best in slot Esper for Starlight Elena, which I've only started using, and I'm pretty happy with her. So in a situation where even in the future I might get Jaden, Carbuncle will be a good Esper to give to that light team. Now, the good thing about this is that for $25.99 or whatever the US conversion is, you also get paid Visor, which is going to be good in the long run if I want to pull for something else. And that something else will be 1 week before end of the Final Fantasy VI content showcase. I'll try to pull for Omen with the paid Viz. so that then I can save my freebies for Astoria and the global exclusive unit that has been announced. So that's pretty much my plan. I'm also working on getting Terra. Slowly I'm doing the daily pulls, and I'm about halfway there, so I'll eventually peter her. I'm also have enough of her shards, so I'm not too worried about not being able to map. I know that, like I mentioned before, if in a situation where you can give her Man-Eater 25%, Man-Eater 25 from the Vision card, and then an extra Man-Eater from an Esper, then yeah, she'll be a force to be reckoned with. Not many units will be able to stop her. Even water units, I think, will struggle to deal with her or mitigate her damage. And with that is all. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. What is your plan this week? Are you gonna try to chase any of the Vision cards? Are you focusing on a specific Trust Stone setup? Let me know. Let's have a conversation in the comments. And without further ado, you guys enjoy the rest of your week and have a good one. Bye for now.